Hi there, my name is Brian, this is Ram, and today we're going to be talking about and demonstrating the Yoga Kriyas, referred to as the Shat Kriyas or sometimes the Shat Karmas. These are cleansing techniques for the body from Hatha Yoga, just helping to clean out the body, clean out phlegm, and maintain a nice pure internal body for the practice of yoga. So we'll get started. So the first one that we'll be demonstrating today is Kapalabhati. This is a breathing technique. So some of the Kriyas also fall under other categories of yoga. So it's a pranayama, but it's also a Kriya in the sense that it's cleansing out the internal organs, it's cleansing out the lungs, and it's cleansing the blood. And it consists of forceful exhalations and fairly rapid. We'll start just by showing a few slow rounds, a few slow pumpings. So Ram will start just pumping slowly. So you can see how the exhalation pulls back the abdomen and the diaphragm moves up. So this is pumping out the lungs, pumping out any foul air that might have been sitting in the lungs for some time, removing carbon dioxide. So it's an excellent breathing technique to help cleanse the lungs. At the same time, because of the hyperventilation, you're bringing more oxygen into the blood, and that blood moves throughout the body, cleansing the internal organs. And also, as the air moves through the cranial region, through the nasal passage, it cleans that area. Kapalabhati means skull shining, so it gets that name from the fact that it's cleaning the cranial region, the skull. And with enough practice, some practitioners start to get an actual shine in the skull. So now Ram will show what that would look like just at a regular tempo with practice. So exhalations are fairly rapid. The inhalation is quite passive, meaning you've emptied the lungs, and then once you relax the abdomen and the diaphragm, it creates a vacuum and the air almost comes in on its own. So there is an inhalation in between each exhalation, but it's fairly passive. Most of the focus is on the exhalation. So it's helping to expel out a large quantity, a large volume of air from the lungs, expelling carbon dioxide and bringing in a rich supply of oxygen. And then after each round of pumping, just take a few deep breaths. 1 or 2 is enough. And then you fill the lungs comfortably, just about 3/4 capacity. So you leave a little space and you retain the breath. You just leave that space so that the air that you're holding in the lungs has a bit of room to expand. During the breath retention, that oxygen that you're holding in the lungs is able to thoroughly absorb into the blood. There's also a very calming effect on the mind when you hold the breath, particularly in coordination with the pranayamas. So here, this is a good opportunity to develop concentration as well. So you just hold as long as it's comfortable. Obviously, if you're just starting out practices like this, it won't be particularly long. That's fine, just as long as comfortable. Pranayama, Kriyas, yoga, all of the practices within yoga should always be comfortable at your own steady pace. And when you're ready to exhale, you would just exhale slowly, completely through the nose. So usually this is done a few rounds at a time. We'll just be doing the 1 round for today to show Kapalabhati. So that's Kapalabhati, the skull shining. It's abdominal pumpings. So that's the first of the Shat Kriyas, the 6 Kriyas. Next, we'll move on to Tratak. Tratak is eye gazing. And this falls into a few categories. It is a Kriya because it's cleansing the eyes, but it's also a concentration technique. Traditionally, it's used staring at a candle flame or a point on the wall. And there are some other more advanced practices, nasal gazing, frontal gazing. And those we recommend you find the guidance of an experienced teacher to teach you. So here Ram is just staring at the flame of the ghee lamp here. And you just keep focused on that point without blinking until the eyes begin to water. So if this is the first time you've practice this particular technique, the eyes may water very quickly. Sometimes it takes longer. And as the eyes start to water, this is cleansing the tear ducts. So the eyes will tear up and it brings out any matter that's in the eyes. It's also strengthening the eyes. It's giving them a good strengthening, so it's helping to improve eyesight as well. So in coordination with other yogic eye exercises, Tratak and these eye exercises can help very much to strengthen the eyes and maintain eyesight, even improve eyesight. At the same time, when you're staring at the point, you also want to keep your mind focused there so you get the maximum benefit. So it also becomes a concentration technique as well, not just a physical practice. And then once the eyes begin to water, you just close the eyes, just let the tears run through the eyes, moistening the eyes, and then relax the eyes. So that's Tratak, that's the eye gazing, that's helping to cleanse the eyes, strengthen the eyes, and improve the concentration. So now we'll start with Neti, the nasal cleansing. Bring it to the center. So Neti is the cleansing of the nostrils and of the nasal region. There's two types. Jala Neti, Jala meaning water, so cleansing it with water using a slightly salted water. And Sutra Neti, Sutra meaning a string. Traditionally it was a waxed string or a catheter in these days, more common. So we'll start with a Jala Neti. So we just have a neti pot here. This is this pot. It has a spout. You just place the spout in one nostril and keep the head slightly tilted forward and turn to the side. So you allow the water to run up one nostril and then out the other. So it's a very gentle way of cleansing the nose. There's no force used. You just let the water run through on its own and do the cleaning for you. So there's no snorting or inhaling of the water, which can be very unpleasant. This is very pleasant. You just allow it to move through. You want to make sure that the water is lukewarm, so just the right temperature. It's not too cold, not too hot. And also the right amount of salt. If you're using too much salt, it will be very unpleasant. And at the same time, if you use too little salt, it will be unpleasant. So with a bit of experience, you'll find the right balance. You don't just enough salt so that it's lightly saline. Usually about 1 teaspoon to a cup is a good starting point, and see how it feels for you. It'll be a bit different for each person. Some people need a little more salt, some people a little less, and with practice you'll find the right amount for yourself. This can be done in the morning when you brush your teeth as part of your daily hygiene practice, and it's excellent before practicing breathing exercises, pranayama, as it prepares the nose, the nasal cavity, gets everything open, removing mucus, removing any dust that's built up in the nasal hairs. This is also stimulating the eyes and the sinus region, because they're very closely connected. So again, we're helping to cleanse and stimulate the eyes at the same time. So we'll do Sutra Neti now. So this is using a catheter, or traditionally it was often a piece of string with a waxed tip. So this is just a catheter. You could find things like a neti pot and a catheter at any well-equipped yoga center or a pharmacy or a health food store.
Hi there, thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the videos in our members preview area.
Our members area has the full content. There you'll find great videos about yoga practice and healthy eating.
Just fill in the form at yoga.org to activate your subscription.
We look forward to seeing you there.
See you there soon. Namaste.
Namaste.